So, Forbes has released a list of the 25 most powerful women in sports, and there are several WNBA players on this list, topped by Caitlin Clark at the number 4 position in all of sports. And it's not just athletes in this thing. It looks like there's presidents of companies, there's agents, there's behind the scenes power players, and there was. It was quite surprising to see the people that were not on the list as compared to the people that are on the list. So let's take a look at this together. We got it. We see Caitlin here at number 4. Let's go back up to the top first. We can see number 1, owner of the Saints, Gail Benson, and the Pelicans. If you own an NFL and an NBA franchise, you probably have a lot of behind the scenes power elsewhere. I wouldn't be shocked if Gail Benson eventually tried, or the Benson family in general, tried to get into the WNBA. Number 2 is Amy Howe. Looks like she is a part of FanDuel. She's the CEO there. You can't watch pretty much any major sporting event without seeing FanDuel ads, the intrusive gambling, type stuff. Like you can see partnerships with the NFL, the NBA, the WNBA, MLB. It's all in an app. She's going to be paid for a long time, and these leagues are inevitably tied in with the gambling, the sports betting. So she's not going anywhere for a while. Then number 3, Amy Montagny, I believe is her name, and she is the brand president of Nike. She's an executive. She oversees $44.7 billion. That's the value of the business. And, she's been with Nike for 20 years, it looks like. And she basically has handled a lot of the A1 stuff with Asia Wilson. And she previously ran Nike's Asia, Pacific, and Latin American business. But let's talk about it. Number 4, you know who it is, Caitlin Clark. This to be at number 4 so early in her career, first athlete there, it shows like the long-term value of what she's going to turn into just as a business titan. I know there is a lot of criticism of how some of her business is handled at times, but they seem to go slow and make the correct decisions. And you can see the brands that she associates herself with are nothing but top of the line, first class stuff like Gatorade, Nike, Wilson. I believe the Stanley stuff. She is State Farm. She's part of those huge commercials, and you can just see what she did for the WNBA. You can see what she did for college. And all that stuff is just a record-breaking, once-in-a-generation athlete right there. So they said Caitlin Clark has turned her record-breaking college career into early dominance in the WNBA. Her estimated $8.1 million in income for her rookie season with the Indiana Fever was bolstered by big deals with Nike, Wilson, Gatorade. Oh, forgot Gatorade. And signals a shift in how female athletes are being valued in the world of professional sports. Last month, the Fever announced that Clark would be sidelined with an injury for the remainder of the WNBA season to focus on her recovery, but the injury doesn't change the fact that Clark has in the last 2 years been the spark that lit the match that set women's sports on fire. There is no debate. Forbes has no incentive to really lie or anything like that. They don't have really agendas to protect. And it feels like even in the WNBA, they have had trouble reckoning with this fact. As they saw positive viewership in the playoffs, I don't think people have put 2 and 2 together that Caitlin's entry was the big bang. So, like, even if she's not playing, there's more people that are just aware that naturally are going to boost things up. So I think her being at number 4 says that she has a potential to go higher. Never know. Amy Montag may move on. Amy Howe, I don't think she's going anywhere. And Gail Benson's not going anywhere. So it's going to be hard to ever get to 1 or 2. But she maybe could go to number 3. But as far as an athlete surpassing her, it's going to be what feels like a long time before that happens. So going lower on the list, we got Michelle Kang. Don't know who that is. Looks like she is a soccer league owner, if I'm not mistaken. Renee Anderson, she's a NFL VP. Jessica Berman, National Women's Soccer League. So they're doing pretty well as well. Hillary Mandel. Number 9, Nafisa Collier and Brianna Stewart as a duo. And it looks like they are more on here for Unrivaled rather than just anything, brand wise they're doing. $340 million valuation. And Forbes, it looks like the Forbes EVP was an early investor in Unrivaled, so they did disclose that. For them to be on here, that shows that they have made themselves, power players in some sense. So shout out to them. Going lower on the list, Claire Wu Tsai, co-owner of the Brooklyn Nets. I think I would have her up, especially for how they've essentially flipped the Liberty, and it looks like they want to make the Liberty a $1 billion team. They sold a minority stake at a valuation of $450 million. Yeah, her and Joe Tsai are like a team. So I would have probably put Claire Wu Tsai a little bit higher. Serena Williams, she's always, part of, big money. So she's got stakes in the Sparks, looks like the soccer league as well. And she is married to the owner of Reddit, I believe. So, long money. Amy Adams, Strunk, Tennessee Titans owner. Coco Gauff, tennis player. And I believe number 15 is Asia Wilson. So Asia's strictly on here, it looks like, from the Nike stuff. And, her, win the championship and MVP award. So, like, the sports stuff, like, she obviously has that. But I think the A1 shoe has been pretty successful. And it's kind of going to become a classic shoe with her win the championship that I think, I don't know if you guys have ever seen A1s in person, but they're really nice shoes in person when you look at them. And I guess they could not leave her off of this. It looks like they put her on pretty much because of that 6-year extension with Nike. And, she got that signature shoe. And she, wrote a book as well. So it looks like it's just the peak of her career kind of right now. So shout out to her as well. Rosalind Durant, ESPN. And there was one more one on here I wanted to point out. Simone Biles, not her. Portia Archer. Dawn Staley, number 20. I think Dawn Staley might have an argument to go a little higher, especially being someone that has interviewed for NBA jobs, signed the mammoth extension with South Carolina as well. So Nelly Korda, some of you guys may be familiar because she's hung out with Caitlin Clark in the Annika tournament and all that. Becky Hammon, number 22. I don't know about that one, but, let her have it. Billie Jean King, Val Alkerman. Number 25, Aaron Kane. If that name sounds familiar, that is the agent of Caitlin Clark, as well as Nafisa Collier. She has Enrique Ngubawale. And, I think there has been a lot of criticism of Aaron Kane. And I think that, a lot of I've seen people float that they want Caitlin to sign with Clutch Sports and all that. But Clutch Sports has a lot of, they don't play. Let's say that. But Aaron Kane is, she's found the golden ticket. So all she has to do is make that one player happy. And, she's got a Collier as well. So if she can do that, she's going to be on this list for many years to come. But, that's pretty much, the list right there. I thought it was interesting that Cathy Engelbert was nowhere to be found on this list. Angel Reese was nowhere to be found on this list. And I think maybe in Angel's case, I think Angel's success is kind of so similar. I don't know if she necessarily influences other dominoes to fall with money. It's like she can make herself a ton of money. She can drop products, podcasts. She can have personal achievements such as getting on the Victoria's Secret stuff. But that doesn't necessarily affect the things around you. So maybe that's what it was. But Cathy Engelbert, whew, baby, it looks like, this is just my interpretation of it, that maybe she's just a puppet here. She's just somebody that's in that job for Adam Silver to take the bullets and, with her allegedly getting these $1 billion TV deals, you would think she would be represented on the list, but she's not. That's interesting, and I would love to know why do you guys think that she's not on the list? Because I find that comical. If it wasn't Caitlin Clark, if Caitlin Clark should have been on her knees, begging, and all these players should have been begging and thanking Cathy Engelbert for getting that. I would think Forbes would recognize that as well, but maybe somebody's actually seeing what it is on this side. But anyway, Caitlin Clark on top once again, and not the surprise of anyone intelligent. But there's a lot of other people amongst us. So anyway, this is Rich. Peace. Let me know what you think of why Cathy Engelbert wasn't on this. So holla. Peace.